All right, y'all, it's new patch time. Patch 25.10 is here, and there are some big changes coming in. New game mode Brawl has arrived. The mage items are getting rebalanced across the board, and Arena has been removed. So all you Arena lovers suck. But let's see what they have to say about it. So Season 2 is underway, and we've got your bi-weekly dose of patch notes. It's incredible that they said that during Pride Month. Very, very aware. Brawl, our newest game mode, has finally arrived, so head on down to Bandle City and try to keep your minions alive. Additionally, we've got the chroma icons from the old Mythic Shop bundles now available in the Mythic Shop pool scam, and we have an update for SEA players and some ranked adjustments we've made with the merge and a slew of balance changes as usual. Okay, excited. On the live side of the fence, we're delivering sweeping updates to AP itemization, buffing up the underperformers, nerfing a few pieces on the top end, and adjusting some items to attract a wider swath of users. We're also significantly buffing Unsealed Spellbook and delivering our normal suite of smaller champion balance tweaks. Ooh, exciting for Unsealed Spellbook. I haven't seen that in forever. I'm excited for the mage changes. I want to see the HP stacking mage items nerfed. I'm super annoyed with HP stacking in the current meta. It's very annoying on bruisers. Even some tanks find ways to do tons of damage, but bruisers are the biggest abuser of this. And then also we have, of course, mages dipping their toe into the pool with the Rod of Ages Riftmaker, Rod of Ages Leandries builds, and I hate them and I hope they get taken down. On top of that, there are a few champions that I feel like are outstanding OP champions. I think Ambessa's like my #1 most hated champion at the moment. I really don't like her. I feel like she gets ahead easily, and is really strong, but I've also seen Ambessa flop. I don't know. I feel like it's a very polarizing champion. And yeah, let's see what's going on. I have played the Brawl game mode, just as a forewarning. I think it's really fun. I don't know if it deserved to replace Arena, but I definitely think Brawl is more fun. It has the structure to be more fun than ARAM. I think it'll be a good game mode with some balance. Anyway, we have highlights. New game mode Brawl. So here it is. This is what the map looks like. You have 3 jungle camps spawning on each side. Each side has a red and blue buff, and then there are 2 neutral camps in the middle. They are good gold sources, and then you just run it down mid and fight. Our newest game mode, Brawl, has come out this patch. Brawl is designed to be a quick game mode where teams of 5 battle over a small area, killing each other and pushing minions into the enemy base to win. It's a low strategy, high action mode where games run about 10 minutes each. Think ARAM, but you get to pick your favorite champ. Don't have to worry about things like objectives or towers, and you can focus on the pure team deathmatch vibe. Each team will start with 250 health, and the first team to reduce the opponent's health to 0 wins. You can reduce your enemy team's health by takedowns on enemy champions, deal 5 damage to the enemy team. While the enemy team is not at low health, takedowns on enemy minions also deal 1 damage. Pushing your minions into the opponent's bandle portal deals 1 damage each. You'll find some interesting camps on the side of the singular lane that will have some powerful buffs and gold available to be claimed, but you'll need to find a balance of tanking these while not letting your opponents push into your portal. We're excited to see people jump into Brawl and try out our newest mode. As always, please tell us what you think about it. We'll be monitoring the data and your feedback on socials to make adjustments as needed. Enjoy, and we'll see you in Bandle City. So, I've played this game. I've played like 10 or 15 Brawls so far. This game is really fun, as I was saying. There are obvious balance problems that will need to be addressed. There are some champions that just feel crazy broken, as was the case in ARAM before they started doing buffs and nerfs to champions there, and I'm sure they're going to address it. And one thing I think they did hit on that makes this game really fun is there is an awesome balance between pushing and farming the camps on the side. I have found great success in just spam farming the camps on the side and getting a huge gold lead, because each one gives you like 400 gold and they're pretty easy to kill, and I think the gold is distributed amongst your team, but I don't know for sure. And I have also tried doing that and been put very far behind because my team either fights or the minions just get pushed in over and over again. So I think there is actually a lot of cool decisions to be made on this map, and yeah, it just needs a little bit of balance tweaks, but that's something hopefully that they'll figure out, and hopefully they won't just do random percentage changes like they do in ARAM. Hopefully they'll be more creative with it, but we'll see. Okay, so SEA server LP gains. I don't play on SEA. Good luck, girls. Champions, Cho'Gath. I don't really see him anymore. Cho'Gath is currently performing too well in mid. What is this? Is a month ago? While needing some help in top lane, changes to base attack speed and vorpal spikes are aimed to close the gap between Hail of Blazing Grass setups, while rupture changes are targeted generically powering down mid lane. So base stats, level 1 attack speed is up. Ooh, that's really nice. For top lane, that doesn't matter that much mid. We have Q Rupture. Damage 80 to 320 to 80 to 300. The AP scaling doesn't change. Does this really change Cho'Gath that much? It doesn't. I don't know if this breaks the threshold of like one-shotting range minions. But it is damage off of the ability that mid lane Cho'Gath maxes. And E Vorpal spikes the damage is the base damage doesn't change, the AP scaling doesn't change, but the percentage of target's max health damage has gone up a little bit. So now if you E max, you're going to be doing more damage to tankier targets, which is very good for the top lane matchups. And on top of that, you have your higher attack speed. So this is a pretty nice buff for top lane. This does not matter for mid lane really, because you're fighting mages and you're probably not auto-attacking them. Cool, Kayn. I never see this champion because I perma-banned him for the last 8 years. Kayn has been an above-average champion as of late, and red-blue Kayn are actually fairly even in terms of win rate, which is pretty cool. As a result, we're going for a generic nerf to both Kayns that won't hurt his already weak early game. Health growth down 6. Cool. Well, I hate this champion. Lulu. Oh my god, Lulu is here. Oh my god. We've been nerfing Lulu a lot. 5 straight nerfs. But she's still quite powerful in solo queue. We're looking to make some more unconventional nerfs to Lulu in order to get her to a more acceptable place long term. Base stats, armor growth down, and R cooldown up. Wow. We're looking to make some more unconventional nerfs. These are unconventional nerfs? Riot, you have nerfed this champion 5 patches in a row. And one thing to think about is that this champion existed in the game at the power level that you think deserved 5 nerfs in a row for like 4 years. I don't think Lulu has been nerfed in a long time besides 5 patches ago. And that's gross. I'd have to check my data on that. But regardless, 5 nerfs in a row is crazy. And I think they're kind of approaching this in the wrong way. Nerfing her just base stats and her like numbers on her abilities, I don't think is really going to change much. Lulu is broken. I shouldn't say broken, but Lulu is the most powerful enchantress by far and the easiest to pilot. And her kit needs to be fundamentally nerfed, not just nerfed by numbers. And what I mean by that is like something about the way her most powerful abilities function needs to be changed more than just the numbers changing. Like you can't just reduce the shield power on her E and think that she's going to be much weaker, because it just won't change the fact that her polymorph and her ultimate are game-changing abilities that are super easy to execute. So, you know, things that I think would change Lulu would be like reducing polymorph duration, or lowering the knock-up time of her ult, or making her ultimate affected by heal cut. Like, I think one of those 3 changes would be a fundamental nerf to Lulu that would make her healthier and would make it so you don't have to nerf her every single patch, because she's still going to be good. Like, this... In a world where you still have like your mid-game Lulu at the average power spike, she's still going to be the best enchantress. This doesn't change it. This makes her lane a little bit harder because her early R cooldown is longer and her armor growth is down and all of her numbers are nerfed, but she's still going to be amazing. So we'll see, but yeah, Lulu is a problem. Fiddlesticks. Support Fiddlesticks is becoming more popular than Jungle Fiddle, which we're okay with, except for the fact that he's clearly more powerful to support. As to support, we're looking to make adjustments that are roughly neutral for jungle and will bring the power down for support. Okay, so fear duration is down. Ooh, wow, on the Q. This is the fear duration for everything in his kit, by the way. It's all of his passive, his ult, everything is based off this fear duration. So this is a pretty big kit nerf. And in compensation, the damage of target's current health is going down, but the scaling of AP is going up. And so this breaks even at what? If we're at 300 AP, then this is 15%, and this is 15%, so this breaks even at 300 AP. Oh, interesting. That's kind of a big nerf. That's like 2 items, maybe more. Interesting. And then W, damage per second is up 5% AP ratio. Well, I mean, his scaling is going to be really, really great. If a Fiddlesticks runs at you with 600 AP, you're going to be terrified, literally. This is going to be really, really tough to deal with. But I think this is a good nerf. I think he should get more damage in compensation for losing fear duration, because the fear duration is like everything about Fiddlesticks. Like jungle Fiddlesticks maxes Q second, support Fiddlesticks probably maxes Q first. They probably go E into Q, but they probably put a lot of points into Q. But this nerf is really, really scary. So we'll see. I hate Fiddlesticks support, and Fiddlesticks jungle doesn't really bother me as a jungler. So we'll see what happens. Naafiri, oh my god, another nerf. We're looking to bring down Naafiri jungle just a bit more this patch. She's still somewhat overpowered and the most banned champion in the game. Wow, I didn't know that. While leaving mid mostly unscathed. Pack monster damage multiplier to jungle camps is down 155 to 135. That's an okay nerf. And to slow down her jungle clear speed, I think right now when I play Naafiri, if I start red buff, I have like just about a 330 full clear, 1 smite, full health. And I don't min-max my dog damage. Like there's definitely a way to maximize the dog damage versus the health you sacrifice. Meaning like when you tank the jungle camp, so your dogs are perma DPSing instead of them tanking, so you regen health. Yeah, there's probably a better way to do it, but this will slow it down a little bit. You know, fine. If she gets less banned, I would be happy. I love this champion so much. SENNA. Though it's her more popular build, SENNA's AD builds significantly underperform compared to her Enchanter setups. Wow. We'd like to retain both of these builds as equally viable, so we're buffing her AD builds by giving her better sustained damage output through crit soul crit chance. We'd also like to significantly raise the viability of carry SENNA, so we're giving a large boost to her soul drop weight when last hitting, as these would buff all builds to some degree. We're slightly bringing down one of her AP ratios as compensation. Ring the bell. The SENNA rebalancing every year is here. We're gonna just change the soul percentages randomly once again. So where are we? Yep, here we go. Oh, wait. Crits chance for 20 stacks. It's up. Ooh, that's really, really nice. Wow. 100 stacks is usually the break point for SENNA, where you get the maximum range from her passive, I think. So that would be 50% crit, which gives you 2 crit items. Which would be fantastic, because SENNAs are all going Black Cleaver now. So maybe you go like Black Cleaver, Infinity Edge, Runons, or Rapid Fire. Cool. I like that change. And then Soul Drop on minion monster kill, 8.4% to 14%. I don't know where they get these numbers. Whatever, Riot. They just make this shit up. I swear to God. What is this? Every year, I swear this changes, and they just pick a random number. They're like, SENNA's too strong, nerf it. SENNA's too weak, buff it. And they just pick a random number. Whatever. I haven't seen carry SENNA in an eternity, so this doesn't mean anything to me, because every SENNA is support if I see them. Q, Piercing Darkness, the heal AP ratio is down. Cool. Again, I don't really see AD SENNA, so this just nerfs support SENNA when they would go AP, which they wouldn't even build that much AP. They're all going Black Cleaver. Even if they go AP, they get 1 support item and maybe have like 70. So this hardly changes anything in my opinion. Okay. Like this said, I see almost always AD or like a tanky Enchantress version. I don't think I ever really see like Irelia Moonstone. Okay, Smolder. I hate this champion. We'd like to give Smolder a shot in the arm. Boo. Since this last update managed to largely remove his stalling aspect from pro play, we think there's room to re-add some of his stack scaling that he lost. Yeah. This is a pro play jail champion who also terrorized solo queue for a long time, and I have lasting feelings about that, so Q damage per stack is up. The Q burn per 100 stacks is up, and the E damage per stack is up. Okay, well, whatever. I hate this champion. I hope this doesn't make Smolder meta. I don't want to see Smolder, but fine. The buffs are okay. Q, or Vi, oh my god. Vi has become a somewhat stale jungle present, and is expressing her power largely in reliably one-shotting an opposing squishy in the late game with little room for counterplay. Huh? We like to re-add some variance in her gameplay without making her strictly weaker in the average case. Okay. So, Q minimum damage is down by 5 per rank, and the bonus AD ratio is down 20%. Oh, that's a hefty nerf. And the maximum damage is up by 10. But the bonus AD ratio is down 10%. What? Isn't this just a nerf? 10 damage in exchange for 10% scaling? Isn't that just a nerf?
Like, doesn't this do less damage overall at like 100 AD? No, not 100 AD. 100 bonus AD. No, yeah. Yeah, I think 100 bonus AD is the breakpoint for this. Isn't that 2 items? Huh, so they just nerfed her scaling. But they also nerfed the minimum damage Q, which is like kind of important in skirmishes. But the maximum damage, I mean, okay. This is kind of a nerf, I see it. As I see it. E fixed a bug where E would crit for plus 100% total AD instead of 75%. Okay, so that's another nerf. Oh, that matters for Sundered Sky. Yeah. And then RS Cease and Desist. Mana down, that doesn't matter. And damage down as well. Oh. So this is just a nerf. What? We add variants to her gameplay without making her strictly weaker? Huh? She is strictly weaker. How is she not strictly weaker? Her ult damage is down, and her Q damage is down. Except her ult... What? How is she not strictly weaker? Bonus AD, bonus AD. I'm not misreading anything, am I? And they fixed a bug with her E? She seems strictly weaker to me, but whatever. We'll see. Xin Zhao. This champion's strong. Xin Zhao is strong both in pro and solo queue, cutting down some armor growth so that he's a bit less tanky late game without feeling super different for his players. Armor growth down 0.6 per level. That hurts. I don't care though. Yuumi, our heal decreased. Wow, Yuumi is still one of the strongest enchanters in the game. True. We're looking to overall lower how reliably she can keep her team healed. So base heal per hit is down. Oh, down a lot. Wow. That's 10 at level 11, which is usually as high as the level you get on Yuumi. That's a big deal. This is a big nerf. Yuumi heals a ton, so I'm surprised by that. Interesting. I would say overall, I'm pretty happy with a few of these changes. I don't really think Vi should have been changed in that way. I think she's going to be way too weak, but besides Vi, I feel like most of the changes are good. I don't want to see Smolder buffs, obviously, but... And Lulu is still suffering from success. What are you going to do? Items. Okay, so we have the AP changes. We've completed a passive AP itemization this patch, which has resulted in bringing down the overperformers, buffing up the lower performers, and reshaping a few items towards new user bases. Cool. Notable updates include Seraph's Embrace. Oh yeah, that's the other tank item that's so annoying. Tier Rod of Ages. Where it'll often be stronger for mana-hungry champions like Cassiopeia and Kassadin, who will appreciate a more reliable shield. Horizon Focus is being broadened as a generally good item for any AP and haste-loving mage. Nice. And if any of its current users are left weak, we'll happily revisit them next with buffs next patch. And Hextech Rocket Belt's being pushed to be more of an aggressive option that may woo assassins and light fighters like Evelynn and Echo. Lovely. That item has felt useless. And Crypt Bloom is growing up to be a more direct comparison with Voidstaff. Nice. And generally we're pushing burst itemization to be completed sooner, thus giving faster power spikes to assassins. Nice. Okay. Yeah, Rocket Belt has not felt like a real item for a long time. I play a good amount of Evelynn, Diana, play Echo, and Rocket Belt feels good on those champions when you're like executing their kit, right? Like it feels good to have, but it does no damage, and that doesn't feel good. And so I almost always will go like Lichbane or Storm Surge, or even just rush like Shadowflame, you know, or like Nashers. Like I mean, on Diana you go like Leandries nowadays, but Protobelt just doesn't fit there. So hopefully they'll change it for the better. But let's look and see what they do. We have Bloodletter's Curse. This is the third mask item that nobody builds, and for good reason, because it doesn't do good Magic Pen, and it just doesn't really give you the stats you want. Because if you had like this build, this synergizes really well with the other mask items of Leandries and Rod of Ages, because you want HP, you want AP, you want to be a bruiser, and it's like the Black Lever, but you don't get ability haste, and that kind of sucks. So let's see. Ability power up 5, that's nice. Health up 150, that's nice. And the magic resist shred per stack is up 2.5%. And the max shred is unchanged, so now you'll stack it in 4 hits instead of 6 hits. Huh. That's a really nice change. I'm thinking of a champion who would like this, like Lilia, who tends to go like Leandry's Riftmaker, but she goes Anya's third item usually. But this item, Lilia pretty consistently gets 2 hits off, right? Your E and your Q. Getting your W is a little awkward, but like if you hit your R as well, you could get a really nice full combo where you shred their whole. You have 22.5% shred. You like E, Q, R somebody, and then when you come in with your W, you've 30% shred them. That feels good. Maybe this will be good. Grip Bloom, ability power up 15, life from death heal is down 5% AP scaling. What? And then the recipe is Blighting Fiendish 900 to Blighting Fiendish 200. That's a great change. Super big change. And then the cost is up 150. Ooh, I hate this. So one thing I like to mention as the difference between Crypt Bloom and Void Staff is when you are having these two items and deciding between these two items, the decision almost always comes down to like, which utility do I need more? And that right now is the difference in Magic Pen numbers, but it's always going to sway towards one or the other depending on like how the items feel if the Magic Pen values are different. And so what I think should be done is I think these items should have the same Magic Pen. I think they should both provide 40% Magic Pen. And I think there should be a big difference in use case where like Crypt Bloom is the amazing team fighting Magic Pen item where you're a 5v5 team comp and you get this and it has maybe like 50 ability power and it has like 20% ability haste and then a big heal, right? And Void Staff should be like the assassin or like the burst, I need to one-shot somebody only one, where it gives you like 120 AP, and they both have 40% Magic Pen, right? And that way, you still get as much Magic Pen for both of them, but one of them you're like, they have different use cases, right? But that would mean that you actually have to make a decision between which one you buy. And right now, you don't really make a decision. Right now, you just buy the more powerful one, and I think that's lame. So I don't think this will change anything, and I don't like that they're nerfing the only thing that makes this item cool, which is the heal. Rocket Belt, okay, so AP's up 10, health is down 50, haste is up 5, Alternator Kindle Gem 700 to Alternator Fiendish Codex Ruby Crystal 300. Okay, this build path is such a buff. It looks like they're buffing build paths this patch. This build path is such a nice buff, and this one is too. Building Kindle Gem felt so bad. I never even realized that about Rocket Belt. But building Kindle Gem while you're building Rocket Belt felt so bad because you're playing an AP assassin usually when you're building this, and you had to build health. You just spend 800 gold on health. That felt so bad. So this is an amazing change, and I'd gladly change that for 50 gold. Cool. And these don't change anything. So this is amazing. So you got 10 AP, which assassins love, 5 ability haste, which you love, and a better build path in exchange for 50 gold and 50 health. I think that's amazing. I would do that trade any day of the week. Fantastic. This item will be better. I don't know if it'll be better, but it will be better. Horizon Focus, we have ability power up 35. Okay, but the damage amp is removed. That was the 10% damage amp. That kind of sucks. But in the recipe, Fiendish Amp Tome plus 600 to Fiendish Blasting Wand plus 350. Huh. And the cost is up 200. Huh. Interesting. This is a nerf, probably. Making it cost more and making the build path the Blasting Wand and removing 10% damage amp kind of sucks. 38.5 AP is nice, but I think this item is nerfed. Speaking of nerfed items, I think Leandry's is nerfed. This AP is just on 10. That sucks. Sorry to every single Leandry's user in the game, which is everyone. That sucks. Lichbane, ability power down 15. Oh my god. And then Sheen Aether, Needlessly Large Rod, 200 to Sheen Aether Blasting Wand plus 250. So the cost is down 300 and the AP is down 15 to compensate. This is good, right? I know it's a less strong item, but building the Needlessly Large Rod in this, it was so awkward. It was extremely, extremely awkward to do the Needlessly Large Rod Lichbane. So the Blasting Wand I think will be nice. This is another thing where I think the build path is going to buff this, because it's very difficult sometimes as a jungler especially to like time your backing to be able to buy a Needlessly Large Rod early game, and so this is our first item rush, and it felt hard to get sometimes. I like this change. Luna's Companion, total cost down 100. Okay. They're just buffing Lunans. Malignant's AP up. Okay, Lux is very happy right now. Morello Namicon cost down 100. This doesn't matter. Nobody should ever build this item. You build the heal cut and then move on with your life. Nash's Tooth cost down 100. That's amazing. Okay. Rabadon's cost down 100. Oh, you know what I'm thinking? What Diana's old build just got super buffed. Her old build of like Nashor's Death Cap and Rocket Belt. She loved these 3 items when she was a burst champion. They all got buffed. She might feel really good with this new build and not have to go HP stacking anymore, but we'll see. Very good. Seraph's Lifeline Shield is 200 plus 20% mana to 18% max mana. Huh. This item pisses me off. But I think this is going to be a nerf for some champions. Like, where's Rod of Ages? What? That's crazy. I can't believe that. Rod of Ages dodged a nerf? What? That's crazy. Well, this will be good with the Rod of Ages. The champions who go Roa Seraphs are going to be very happy. Storm Surge, cost down 100, move speed up, nice. Gold on preemptive takedown removed. Well, that didn't really matter. It's 10 gold. I mean, it helped, but like, whatever. And movement speed on Squall removed. I think this will be nice overall. The 2% move speed is good because it works in and out of combat, but it was really nice getting the movement speed on certain champions like Evelyn and Diana, or whatever AP assassin you played, Silas, everyone. But I don't know, now you get out of combat move speed and it's cheaper, notably, and that's good. Overall, these are all the changes. I think these are pretty good changes across the board. I think the items that I saw I wanted to be buffed were buffed, and the items that I wanted to be nerfed are nerfed. Crypt Bloom, well, besides Rod of Ages, Crypt Bloom got changed in a way I didn't like. Bloodletter's Curse will probably still be weak, but we'll see. Rocket Belt is much nicer, and the build path is nicer. Horizon Focus is going to be interesting. I think it's weaker, but we'll see. Leandry's is just nerfed. That sucks. Lichbane, I think, is weaker, but its build path is better, and it's cheaper, so I think this is a buff. Luden's is just buffed. Malignance is just buffed. Morello is just buffed. Nashor's is just buffed. Rabadon's is just buffed. Seraph's, I think, is buffed when it's with Rod of Ages. And Storm Surge is changed, but I think buffed because it's cheaper. Cool. Mage items are cheaper. Mages are going to be online faster. I still think there is a problem of HP stacking in the game. And I still think bruisers are going to be really annoying to deal with mages, and bruisers are everywhere. And there's still, I think mages are going to do a great job of one-shotting each other, and I think the Syndras of the world are very happy. I think Rod of Ages needs to be nerfed. I'm surprised it dodged a nerf. Runes, Unsealed Spellbook. Cool. Unsealed Spellbook has been mostly absent from the game for quite some time. The fun part of this rune is getting lots of different summoner spells, true. So we're trying a version where you swap around much more frequently. So the base recharge cooldown is 5 to 4 minutes, sure. And the recharge cooldown at max is 1.5 minutes now. Wow. That's interesting. I wonder if you'll be able to have a 4 summoner spell fight. I don't know if you could have 2 at once, but I know once you use one, you immediately get your normal summoner spell back. So you could like exhaust Ignite Flash. Is this gonna be broken? I don't know. I haven't seen this in so long. I'm excited though. This is a fun thing to experiment with. Mythic Shop, this is a scam. Bug fixes and QLL changes. Oh, QLL changes. We've made some changes under the hood to the social hub's friends list this patch to pave the way for some work we've planned down the road. Okay. The client doesn't work. That's all I read. Irelia, what? Irelia W now pauses the duration of her pass. What? Instead of letting it go all the way down to 0.5 seconds and holding it there, if your passive cooldown is below 1 second when you press W, it'll be put to 1 second after releasing W. Also fix a rare bug where W would not refresh passive stacks when it damaged an enemy. Isn't this a big buff? It's a QLL change, but how is this not a big buff? Right? Because sometimes you hold it for the full duration, which is 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. This is really nice, right? I think this is really nice, and even if you use it when you're losing stats, you get an extra second. This is really nice. At least human W Spiderling will not look for targets immediately upon being cast, rather than going after going to the target location. Okay. Cool. Bug fixes I don't care about. Skin updates, whatever. We don't talk about PvE in patch notes, but we wanted to call out that in 25.11 you'll see updates to the previous Black Rose Masquerade skins for Elise, Vlad, Samira, and Renata. Cool. Okay, so they're buffing the skins, that's nice. And then we have 3 skins coming. High Noon Yorick looks alright, Blood Moon Rise looks bad, and Stargazer Vex is very, very cool. I love this splash art. Alright, so I want to say, overall, I think I'm happy with the patch. I love to see Fiddle and Kayn banned. I don't think Lulu deserved her ban, but they're just banning her in the wrong way. They need to do something else. Naafiri, fine. If she's the most banned champion in the game, fine. Make it so she's not, so I could play her. Xin Zhao deserved, and Yuumi deserved. The Cho'Gath buff, I think, is nice. Get him out of mid lane, for the love of God. SENNA is nice. We'll see. I mean, it's just her yearly change. And then Smolder buff, I don't understand. And Vi, it says adjusted, which I think is a joke. She is absolutely nerfed. And then the systems, we have the new AP item changes, which I think are going to be good overall. I can't believe Rod of Ages wasn't nerfed. I can't believe it. And then Unsealed Spellbook is just fun, and we will see how it goes. And finally, the game mode is fun. I do think that Arena didn't have to bite the bullet for this one to come, but Riot Client isn't a real functioning tool, and so they don't know how to have 2 rotating game modes in the game at once because there's only enough space in the UI for one. So I guess they just had to remove Arena, which sucks because it's popular. I think they should just have their game modes be permanent. I don't know. I mean, I get maybe it costs too much server time or something, but I think Brawl is fun. I've had a good time playing it. It needs to be balanced, and that will happen eventually, but for now, it's just chaotic and silly. And yeah, patch is good. Let me know what you think.